This morning, I woke up with kind of a poem. I can usually feel there's something that wants to be spoken. So I get my pen and paper out and I wrote this little poem that I want to share with you because it completely relates to what has been going on and is going on in the world, at least in my world, my inner world, and what I have been talking about. So let me just share these words with you that kind of it's not quite done. I can always do a little touch up here and there, but this is it for now. And it's kind of it started with, you may know the poem by Rumi that says, "Your task is not to seek for love, but to find and seek and find all the places inside of you that you have built against it." So it started out with my task. And it says, "My task is not to touch this dream in any way, shape, or form, not using any positive thoughts in an attempt to make it transform, not avoid feeling discomfort presented inside my mind, nor resisting evil of its most challenging kind. My task is to sit still in the midst of it all, remain silent here in the very eye of the storm, and wait patiently for my inner light to show me its truest norm." So take that in for a moment. It comes back to this not touching the dream. And I cannot tell you how important this is and how we have so much more consciousness or energy awareness available now, that we will be able to move in that direction. I'm not saying that you will be mastering it overnight, but since that shift that I certainly experienced, it just feels like the dream is losing its power, has lost a lot of its power, and in that we are much more able to become available for who we truly are and stay there. Now, from this place, we can and will create a new earth experience. The experience that we have been having for way too long, if you ask my humble opinion, has been experienced and created through these filters, through this overlay, the veil, the darkness, the illusion, the simulation. It's like we have been living in this simulation that has felt so real, but it's all been happening through our senses. So now that doesn't have that same grip on us anymore, that means that we can also loosen our grip on it. And of course, placing it here in our heart, in our soul, where something lives that is ready to be expressed in a new way in this dimension. I would say this presence that we are, that I am, that I experience myself to be, that doesn't change. It has the same qualities always, but it's just because we have been experiencing the outer world, the seeming outer world, as limited and dark, and with duality and wars and all these awful things that I think most of us are like so done with. Grip is less now. So now we can go to our heart and feel like what you have been longing for a very long time, but somehow we're not fully able to manifest or experience. I know a lot of people have, because a lot of people have been able to break through that to a certain extent, so that that new expression has been able to come out. It's now available for, I would say, all of us who are tuning into that. So in that new place, what world do you want to experience? What do you want to be different than the world is now? It makes me think of, the beautiful nature that is still all around us. I live here in the most gorgeous redwoods, and there's creeks and there's all kind of beautiful hiking trails and nature. And it's gorgeous. I don't have any problem with that. But I want to say though that I know it's still experienced through the filter. And that's the good part. There's good and bad, there's right and wrong in this mind projection. So that will still be here experienced as good and bad, and something you want to stay with and something you want to get rid of. But besides that, what is living in your heart that you really want to experience in this world? I think there is a similar flavor for all of us, because what we're longing for is our true self, our true nature, and see that reflected in the world. Which, for me, as you know, my deepest core desire is I am deeply relaxed in the effortless flow and fulfillment of God's loving grace, because that is what I already am, and that I have been distracted away from for probably many lifetimes, to project my energy into this veil and then live in this duality and conflict and limitation and lack and disease and all these things. But that does not exist here. We have to remember this, what we long for is already here. It's already who we are. So it is our task, if there is a task, to come back here. So our task is not to engage in that anymore. And that, I know, that's a process. That is where we probably still need to put some effort and energy into, to not engage with it, I would say, less and less and less, as we are able to, depending on your life, on your situation, on your circumstances. It's going to be different for everyone, but it is our task now. And then to not engage. And then our new task is to rest here in the eye of the storm. As this dream is just, it's probably going to change a lot from now on. A lot of things are going to fall apart, collapse, change, because it has to, because it is not aligned with who we are. So maybe you can consider, what is it really, really that you want? What kind of a world do you want to see out there? Out there, yeah, through this expression, without the lens, without the overlay. What would it look like? For me, it's, of course, love and bountiful and beauty and peace. Peace is a big one for me, because my life and my body has not experienced a lot of peace in this lifetime. And that's why that's been a deep longing to just come back to that inner peace. And of course, it's here, but at a much deeper level, that is still a longing and a movement, a pull. It's kind of a pull inside. And it's like, come, come, come. I'm here. I'm here. The peace is here. Come. It's not out there. So yeah, please let me know uh, what you long for. What kind of a world would you like to live in? What kind of a world do you want to create now that the veil is thinning and much thinner, so that this longing in your heart, in your soul, can finally start expressing itself? in a new way in our experience.